I hang in, and then the wife goes, "Oh, I saw you hanging with James. Does that mean you're a Jew again?"
Welcome to the welcome to the Nexus. We are the Nexus, and this is a time we take to sit and discuss all things Torah and all things biblical, all things God. Everybody is welcome to the conversation. Would love to have you here, as long as you're nice. jamestheidolsmasher @gmail.com, at the Idol Smasher, Rumble, Twitter, and Torah Friends Podcast, and the Orphans of Abraham on Facebook, TorahFriendsPodcast.com, and the channel on here on Rumble. Rosalie.
Hi,
John. Welcome back, man. It's good to see you, man. Good to have you here.
Is it Tu B'Shavat?
Yes, it is.
Right.
This is
New Year for trees.
Yeah, New Year's for trees, right?
Yep. Today. Well, yeah, still today.
Yeah, it's still kind of yesterday.
Holiday that people don't give enough love to.
Right.
It's not well known as it should be. I don't have my monitors set up tonight because I've been arguing all night, all day and night. We've got a new guy. We have a new guy who's just out to get people. And he's not nice. And he just wants to, he picks people out. You can go to kosher memes and just scroll down and just, he picks on people just to pick on them, and then slanders a whole bunch of stuff and takes your stuff out of context. He's got a YouTube channel, so I'm not going to be unnice. There he is. He goes by Tzion Bar-Lev.
Is he one of these boys
Zion Bar-Lev?
Be Jewish?
Zion Fauci Bar-Lev.
Now, is this guy an actual yid, or is he just a goy with a yarmulke on?
He's a Noahide, so he's got the T-shirt.
Oh boy.
Okay, yeah.
And
I wanted to convert to Judaism, but all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
Gotcha.
I guess in this case, I got a yarmulke. Yeah.
Well, hey, you're Ger through and through. I don't care what they say.
So what's his bone of contention? What does he do?
He goes around trashing anybody who might be consider themselves Ger. He's one of those that are he's been anointed. Apparently his rabbi tells him to go out and heckle heretics, make fun of them, mock them, make memes about them, and he says he's going to get shmikta soon.
Right.
All this good stuff. Yeah, he's a real charmer. He's got a YouTube channel, and you can go and listen to his stuff. It's not like he hates God. I just think he hates people. Or loves himself. I don't know.
Do you know isn't that like that one guy we had before? Whose name we shall not mention. The one who used to make fun of us every week.
What happened?
I don't remember.
I can't think of his name. It wasn't Wes, was it?
No, Wes was all right if I remember correctly. But no, it's just too bad. You got people in there. This guy's a heretic. He hates God. He lies. He just and then now I'm on his latest, which I don't mind because I can dig it. I can. I mean, you can handle my own.
It don't matter. It is what it is.
He'll post six posts in a row and then say, "Why do you keep deleting your posts?" And then makes another post that says, "Here's proof that James is deleting his posts. Look, see all the times that I posted and he's not there? That's because he deleted all his posts."
So we call that a schmendrick.
Schmendrick. Well, head on over to his channel and get the greatest wisdom you're ever going to get, because his rabbi's got a bigger Torah scroll than your rabbi. I can guarantee it. All right.
I think I'd rather get some knowledge over at 42nd Street. I'll pass.
In the basement of 770? Okay.
Yeah, 770 in those underground tunnels. What do you think, guys?
Okay.
About it. No one wants to talk about it. It seems
the fucking mikvahs.
No, okay. So this is what it was. They're claiming that they built those things because of COVID lockdowns, but that's a we know that's not bullshit. I don't mean to curse, because they were openly defying the lockdowns. The Chabadniks, they were wearing no masks, no social. They were so those underground tunnels couldn't be because they were trying to get around the COVID lockdowns. So then they try to say, well, it was some sort of mikvah that the government wanted them to go to, but that's also, again, they violated the government order not to go there, and they were doing the blatant in public. So I mean, it's like,
right?
There you go.
I love that.
News.
Got that from Gav.
They'd have been funny if they hadn't come out of the manhole. That just gave every believer
that was came out. I mean, he got out real good, and then people were roasting him. I mean, they weren't letting him go. Yeah, I don't know. It's suspicious. I don't know.
It gives the conspiracy theorists so much to go on. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
I've been to 770. I didn't even realize those tunnels were even there. To be honest with you, you wouldn't even know.
You've been there?
I'm surprised I wasn't even kept in the loop. I feel like I wasn't part of the tribe enough. Right. Why didn't they let me in? It's like Dennis Leary. He used to have this joke. He's like, I grew up an altar boy. I was a devout Catholic, and the priest never diddled me. I felt so neglected. What was wrong with me? How come he didn't like me? Why wasn't he doing it to me? Was I not good enough? So yeah, I felt a little like not in the. I feel like I wasn't part of the clan, right? But I don't know. We'll see where it goes. James, how you doing? How's everything?
Nowhere. They're gonna fill it in.
I needed that, John. Oh man, I'm doing good. I've been having a hard time. I might be going to a shrink soon. Had an incident that happened a while back, and I've never really gotten over it apparently, and it's causing stress and distraction.
Why the hell would you want to go there?
Well, they say seek professional help, and I was considering it, and then this dude came online and started trashing a good friend of mine and a couple other people, and so arguing with him started getting me heavier back into the text and learning. And I tell you, arguing with this dude's been very great therapy. So I might not need a shrink. I just might need more Ger.
There you
go. But no, I've been good. We've been blizzard conditions and ice conditions, and then it's going to get up to 60 in a few days here. So you don't like Kansas weather.
10 degrees in Miami the other day. You heard that? 10 degrees in Miami.
Really?
Yeah.
There goes the orange grove.
We're up to 37 and rain here.
How's it up there in New York?
Oh God, we were negative. We were in the negatives for a couple of days.
Yep.
Now they were saying it was going to be -40, but it never got that cold.
Wind chill, yeah.
-10 at the most for like 2 days.
Yeah.
We got -6 here in Kansas.
Oh man,
and that north wind just cuts right through you. It's obviously it's got to be a sign of what they've been warning us about all this time of global warming. It's obviously it's going to be global warming, right?
Even colder, yeah. That's the first thing I thought. How dare you?
You stole her childhood.
How dare you, James? How dare you?
I do have a kosher meme of the week. The Ninja Turtles was last week. I do have one kosher meme of the week.
Jerusalem is not holy to you if you fire rockets at it. That's, what I would say. That's such a true statement. If you look up what they do, those Arabs, these Palestinians at the holy site, they're always playing. The kids are always playing soccer there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that you notice. They're always playing soccer, and they're hitting the ball against the Temple Mount. They're always knocking the ball. And I'm thinking to myself, you're playing soccer at the most, what Islam claims to be the third most holiest site in Islam. You're just playing soccer there. Yeah.
Children playing at the holiest
I
sites.
don't mind children playing, but I'm just saying.
But yeah. Yeah, and I noticed that too. I've seen it a couple of times. It's like that's one of the great activities out there. Prayer, study of Quran or Torah. No, it's soccer.
Right.
Yeah. No, we've got a lot of great stuff here. There's the title of tonight. We don't even have topics. Who needs a topic? If you've got something you want to talk about biblical, there's a link over here in the chat, whether you're on YouTube or Rumble, and it's the top one. The other one is a link to the Torah portion this week. Before we get into that, about what we were talking about, these guys who like to make posts and trash people and call them heretics, and they hate God, and they're just, they lie in the name of God and all this stuff, cult leader and all that good stuff, and you're in a cult and all that. Every rabbi's got his own little cult of Noahides, don't they? I mean, golly, minions. They send them out into the world just pointing fingers and throwing eggs at people they don't know. I want to read to you from Mishnah Torah. This is Human Disposition 7. It's down a little ways. There is no difference whether one speaks Lashon Hara, which is evil speech. There is no difference whether one speaks Lashon Hara about a person in his presence or behind his back. The statements of people who relate matters which, when passed from one person to another, will cause harm or frighten him. From one person to another will cause harm to a man's person or his property, or will even merely annoy or frighten him, is considered as Lashon Hara. If such statements were made in the presence of three people, one may assume that the matter has already become public knowledge. Thus, if one of the three relates the matter a second time, it is not considered Lashon Hara, provided his intention was merely to spread the matter further and publicize it, which is gossip. It's one thing to speak Lashon Hara, it's another thing to gossip it. So it says right there, I mean, whether you want to whether they cause harm, and this isn't, if it's unintentional, you have to come out and say it publicly. But for those, when it's not intentional, for those who deliberately want to do it, it's to cause harm to a man's person, which would include his reputation, his character, according to the law of murder and personal injury, injury to his property, or even merely to annoy or frighten him. They're considered Lashon Hara. And my wife just got back from a wake for. Is that you on? Okay, there she's up.
You need to step away
Mom
from
is home. Great. I am free of responsibility of my own children.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
I'm leaving.
Bye.
I'm gonna go to the bar.
Bye. Take them with you. Okay. She's not really taking the kids to the bar. That was a joke, I promise. So that's considered Lashon Hara. That's in Mishnah Torah, Human Disposition 7. You can find it at the Chabad website in the Talmud Mishnah Torah. I got this particular translation from Sefaria because it came up first, and I didn't have a lot of time to put a lot of that together. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to talk negative about anybody, even if it's true, because Lashon Hara is only considered Lashon Hara if it's true. Even though if it's untrue, you can still be considered, but they assume that what you're saying is true. You're still not allowed to go out and talk actual smack. If the person's done something wrong, you bring him before a bet din and work it out. You don't go out in public and they say, well, we're warning the public against heretics. And this is where because apparently in Israel, land of Israel over there,
I was going to say, have you
all
ever
the
been to
rabbis.
Israel? I mean, they got it plastered all over the wall. This rabbi is a schmuck. This rabbi is a schmentik.
Yeah.
This rabbi is a ganef. This rabbi is a Biden supporter. I mean, it's just not. It's just
That's the worst thing you could say about a rabbi is a Biden supporter. Yeesh. No. Yeah. So, and they say that's warning the public, and maybe it is, but for a Ger who's not there, or for a Noahide or whatever, man, there really is. John, you would say this to me, and I think we would even argue over this. But you either all in, whether you're able to perform all the mitzvot or not. You're either all in or you're not. When it comes to God, that's true. I think of Christians and Muslims. Well, if I'm wrong, Christians or Muslims, come in and correct me.
Yeah.
But you're either all in or you're not. I think what bothers me is now I'm beginning to understand what bothered you about the Noahide notion, the Noahide movement, is that it was an excuse to keep your distance from God, and not giving your all, not going forward with it. You just don't.
I mean, it's just common sense, right, James? I mean, if you believe that you have the truth and that you love God, wouldn't just the logical conclusion is that you want everyone to share in that? I don't understand why there's division. I understand that, you got to be, careful about who you let it in. I mean, it just breaks my heart, but there was this big time YouTuber and he was a Jew and he adopted 9 kids. I don't know. I don't remember the YouTube channel, but he got big on YouTube and I think he was like a sophomore, one of those. And it turns out that he was raping the kids that he adopted. Well, molesting them anyway. Yeah, 9 kids.
Not cool.
What happened?
Not cool.
Not cool at all. And it should have. Someone's spidey sensors should have been going off. Okay, a single male, no wife, talks with a list, but why does he want kids? I mean, we're on YouTube. I don't want to, of course, offend them, but it should have sent someone's spidey sensors off. Like, why is this guy wanting kids? And it's just like, you got these people out there that are doing these things, and then it turns out the guy was like a convert, and he was like wanted to be a Catholic priest, but then he moved to like Houston, and then he met with a Jewish community, and then he saw how like it was easy access to kids. I mean, yeah, I get it. There's predators out there, but like, come on, like you're gonna be that shut for converts because you're too worried. And there's this big thing that they'll say. A lot of Orthodox Jews will say this, that it's better to be a goy that sins than to be a Jew that sins because it has a greater effect in the world. I just think that's chutzpah. I think that's chutzpah to say that. I think it's nonsense that's a reason not to convert people. What about all the okay? That's the logic that you use. What about all the positive mitzvahs? You could only do 7 mitzvahs as a mitzvot as a goy, so that you limit it to 6. But if a Jew, you do 6, 13. So what more mitzvahs you could do as a yid? So if the logic is that it's better to be a goy that sins than a Jew that sins, what about it's better to be a Jew that does mitzvah than a goy that does mitzvah, right? So these logical nonsense things they're this. And it's an excuse to be a bigot, really, at the end of the day. It's an excuse to be a bigot. And, if someone comes to you in earnest and says, hey, I dig Judaism, I think Torah is emes, okay, take him at face value. I'm not saying you grab him by the scruff of the neck and throw him in the mix for that moment, but, you know what I'm saying? So that always bothered me a little, James. It's because there's no other religion that does that. Buddhists don't do that. Like if some white guy goes to Tibet and he goes, hey, I want to take the vow of silence and be a monk, they're not going to say, oh, we're going to, put you through the ringer for 3 years before, whatever. No, they take you in, don't they? I don't think they separate you, right? No other religion does it. Catholics don't do it. Protestants don't do it. Muslims don't do it. You say you want to be a Muslim. Hey, let's take the shahada. Let's do it right now. Oh, but don't you know the tenets of Islam? No. Well, you got to go through a 2-year course. No, let's do it. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it.
Rabbi Gav would agree with you on that. He's like, if someone is serious about it, you take them in. No, but they don't know all the customs. They don't know they don't know the holidays. They don't speak Hebrew. It's like that doesn't matter. He learns on the way. You teach him to do, and then he learns.
Right.
And
that's what the halakha says. I mean, the halakha says you tell him the basics. You tell him that Jews are hated. you're going to be outcast. And if he still says yes, okay, let's go.
There was a point in my life where I probably would have converted completely. The first with my ex-wife, and she wanted to, when we were having a kid, and it was a mess. But even after that, there was a time when I would have converted probably like that. And it was a very much, no. You go over there and play in the traffic and pat you on the head. Good luck.
Oh, the wife said that to you, the ex-wife?
No, no, she said a lot more than that. No, but it was the attitude I felt. And it was, no, you're not one. Oh, don't you dare. I mentioned that, I was in the shower and I was talking to God. You can't talk to God when you're naked. I'm like, what are you doing a mikvah? Right? I mean, I can't talk to God when I'm in the shower. I thought that was the one place you could talk to him.
No kidding.
I could be wrong. I was told by my rabbi at the time, who was kind of bringing us in. He was like, no, you dress up nice. If you make yourself as presentable as possible. If you wouldn't do that for your mother or your father, why would you not dress like that for God? Kind of an attitude. Okay, I get that. But there was so much, against you. And like you say, 3 years are going to put you through the ringer and the tests, all to just say, we'll come back tomorrow again. I don't know. Yeah. And those who, I was always felt kind of weird because it's like, well, I choose just a 7, but really I'm choosing more and more every day. And I'm beginning to look back and see how the Noahide notion is all about the Gentiles having their own Jewish religion.
Uh-huh.
Well, it also violates just a plain. I understand there's more to the Torah than the Pashat, the basic meaning. I understand there's the deeper meaning. I understand there's a Kabbalistic understanding of Torah, but it says, "I am your Lord, your God, and you shall keep Shabbos," and that's how you know that I am your Lord, your God. So it's directly connected. Shabbos, most of these commandments, a lot of the commandments are connected to God, that you shall know that I am your God. And then he gives you a commandment to do. So keeping Shabbos, eating kosher, having a circumcision. It's in the Pashat. It's you can't get around it, right? And the halacha is that the Pashat Torah never just deviates from the Pashat of Torah, right? The halacha of the Torah. When I say Torah, there's the textual Torah, the written Torah that Moses gave us, and there's halacha. I'm saying Torah as the halacha, right? The halacha says that the way you make halacha is from the Pashat. You don't make halacha based off a Kabbalistic understanding. That's just the way it's done. You can't do that, right? Uh-huh. If you could, you could make a ruling right today. The rabbi say, we make halacha that says the rabbi comes today. Well, okay. Well, where is he? It doesn't work. You can't do it on the mystical, right? So so if you're a ger and you're saying you believe in God, but you don't keep Shabbos, you don't eat kosher, you don't have a circumcision proper, you don't do it, so you're violating the commandments, proving that you don't believe in the Hashem, that you don't believe in God. If you believe in God, then you keep Shabbos. If you believe in the God, then you keep kosher. That's how it is. You can't cut the two. But you're a ger and you only get 7. Well, does God say that in the Pashat? Does God say that, you can believe in me if you keep 7 commandments? Or is that just a rabbinical thing? It's just a rabbinical thing.
Yes.
Right? So we have to understand that.
Israel's commanded to rest the ger. The ger's not commanded himself, but he's the outside guy. Israel still must rest him. So if you're any kind of a 7-law dude, that's there. To me, it's like makes you a second-class citizen, right? Let's say you're in Israel and the native citizens are doing a thing, whatever it is. Let's make it not religious.
We're a step up above the Palestinians. Can I get him?
Don't lose your place, John. You're onto something.
we got color commentary here. We got Jim Ross. That's a slobberknocker. He threw him off the cage. He's dead. He broke him down. They're broken him in half. And then, I don't know. I don't remember where I was exactly going, but if the native people get to do one thing, it doesn't matter what it is. I think that's what I said before Rose said her beautiful, colorful language. And then about Palestinians, we're lovely people. We love Palestine. We love Palestine here. Viva la Palestine, right?
Free Palestine from Hamas. They got some prime real estate down there, man.
You want to talk about tunnels?
Oh.
When did Chabadniks? What did they convert to Islam? What's going on? They go to like 6 weeks of boot camp in West Bank. There you go. Could you imagine having a Chabad house in Bethlehem? Here's the Chabad house. This is where Yashka was born, and here's the tunnel over here, and here's Yashka's tomb, and it's like the menorah. I mean, it's like I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that job. But Chabad will go anywhere. I'll be honest with you. If they open a Chabad house in Bethlehem, man. I'm not joking. This is a real thing. I was talking to Chaim Miller. Chaim Miller is a great guy. He wrote. He made a chumash. Basically, the chumash that we read that I gave you, James, the big red one, the brown red one. That's put together by Chaim Miller, Rabbi Chaim Miller. I've met him. He's Chaim Miller, okay. Right? Is that by Chaim Miller? Well, what does it say inside? Is it edited by Chaim Miller? Rabbi Chaim Miller?
Well.
Let him get his readers on.
Uh-huh.
Compiled and adapted by Rabbi Chaim Miller.
Yes. I met him, and he's one of the great. He's a nice guy, one of the nicest guys you ever meet. And we were talking one day. I think it was a Farbrengen at Shabbos, a Farbrengen during Kiddush, and he was talking about Chabad. If this was even 4 years ago, and we were even talking about this because Elon Musk was still in the news about going to Mars and making settlements on Mars. They were saying they want to put a Chabad house on Mars, man. That's how serious it was. 770. I'm not kidding. The upper echelons of Chabad.
I vaguely remember that.
If Graham go to Mars, they're taking they're saying the Jews are coming with them. They're taking the donkeys. They're putting jet propellers on them, and then they're shooting out from the space like a monkey out of a cannon, man. I'm not joking. They're following them. And I'm like, damn, that'd be kind of cool to have a Chabad house on Mars. And then they went on to the whole discussion, like how do you keep Shabbos because the days are different. So it was a good discussion.
Actually, that's a good discussion right there for all sci-fi fans.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Do you keep Torah as they keep it on Earth? At the time that the things happen on Earth, because like
there's no sunset.
Well, but if there's a sunset on Earth, I don't know. See, yeah, it's only
it's the same thing like in Alaska. How you have 20-hour days and 4-hour nights sometimes, and then you have 40-hour nights and 4-hour days, like depending on the year. Apparently, there's difference of opinion, but you can keep it as if you would do it in Israel. So if you would do it or you can also like do it as the time zone, like if the time like you go by the time zone. So there's different opinions on like how you would keep it. Breaking up the guitar.
Living on Israeli time. Living on Israeli time. I got back to it. Living on Israeli time. I couldn't help it.
There you go.
Wait, what? It's time for another meme. It's time for another meme of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Don't be a dick. Yeah.
That's kind of the gist of it. I mean, it's the biggest thumbnail of Torah.
Right. That was in my favorites this past week.
That's why. I saw
I know
that.
where you got it from.
Right.
Yep, that's one of my favorites. Yep.
And while we're just one more. Okay, we're gonna do one more meme.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it.
Pinochet.
Stalin, death toll 20 million. Pinochet, death toll 0. Communists aren't people.
Oh boy.
That's the way it is.
That's a French for you. They know nothing. They know
How
nothing.
dare I?
Damn French.
How dare you?
That's rough, James. Damn.
How dare you? Okay.
God, please don't make me puke.
There's some good stuff happening in this week's Parsha. Because we're about to go over to Rumble solely here, so I want to get in a little official stuff on the YouTube broadcast. And I was reading in Bamidbar, which we are not in Bamidbar at the moment.
Or Beshalach.
Beshalach. What happens? We get the
Exodus 13:17.
Yeah, we've got the Red Sea parting. We've got prepping the Israelites to get to God. We've got Amalek attacking, which I kind of want to bring up now. It's like, we have to understand that what's happening to the folks in Israel. This is Amalek, and sadly, it's like everyone. And I know what the news says, and the news says all this stuff and the other, and we forget that there are Muslims, happy Muslims living in the state of Israel, doing their Muslim thing and living well. So for all the news commentators out there, for all the folks who watch the news, they want to Muslim against Muslims, and it's an anti-Muslim. It's not. Israel is not an ethno state, whether you like it or not. They got Christians there. They got Arab Christians there. They got Druze. Look what's on the Temple Mount. Looks a little Turkish to me. You know what? When Mashiach comes, everything's going to be figured out. There won't be religion anymore. There won't be a need for it. It's not a genocide, is what I'm saying. That's the big word to say, is genocide. Oh, they're committing genocide. It's not really, no. Hamas. Gaza is about the size of Washington, D.C. I mean, if they wanted to level it, they would have leveled it. And they don't even, and from what I gather, even all my Jewish friends over there, they don't want Israel to take Gaza. And I don't understand why. I believe you break all their shit, take their stuff. They're like, no, we don't want to take Gaza. We want to let Gazans be free to determine their own selves. And the Philistines. But anyway, yeah, Amalek. It was.
I just want to say for the record, I think it's a little dangerous rhetoric to call them Amalekites, because I mean, Bibi Netanyahu went on this he got heat for it a couple months ago. He was like, we're fighting Amalekites, Palestinians are Amalekites. It's a little. I think it's a little bit strong of language, simply because you're not supposed to believe that Amalekite is not exactly a group of people, but an idea. I guess that's
yes,
right. You know what I'm saying? So to say that these people are actually Amalekites are like a little rough, but it is what it is. I mean,
if the turban
it's not good
fits
for the
her.
peace talks. That's definitely when you think the other side is so evil that they can't be bargained with. But what happened? I don't understand why. I don't get it. I mean, these people parachuted, glided in, like it's a Mission Impossible movie, and just like massacred people. And everyone comes out, and the next thing everyone comes out in support of Palestine, like it's a Pink Floyd concert. I mean,
that's Amalek. That's the Amalek I'm talking about. Is
now that's scary. Yeah. I mean, when you got Greta Thunberg waving a Palestinian flag and saying, "How dare you? How dare you get your baby's heads cut off? How dare you die?" It's like, what in the world? What's going on here?
Yeah, my old there is. It's an idea. That's perfect, and it's. Yeah, and all of a sudden, they use the word Nazi for 6 years on everybody, for being fascists. and
Right.
or should I say fascist. They gave everybody heck, and then this happens, and suddenly their overlords decide to have them convinced. Now the Jews are the fascists. So I guess they wasted all that time calling all the non-fascist fascists or Nazis, and now I get that. So yeah, the intellectual consistency is mind-boggling.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's an Amalek, and the only way you can fight them is with the sword, because in the end, that's where they're going. Saudi Arabia just said the other day, the prince said Saudi Arabia is ready to accept Israel as its own state. Saudis,
Oh, yeah?
Mecca, Medina, everybody, people are tired of this thing that's going on over there. It's really, I believe everybody is about exhausted of war. I just know that, something else that happened in this week's Chumash, when it comes to the Egyptians chasing the Israelites, God hardened their hearts. And I think that might even just be saving them. Were they really marching proudly because of what just happened to their nation? Is that when, God hardens the hearts, and I don't see how. I don't see the logic of it myself either, dude. But God hardens hearts. I think a lot of people, young people especially, sadly, their hearts have been hardened. And
James, if I came up to you and I said, "Give me your wallet," would you give me your wallet? I'd say I'm a stranger. You don't know me. I just walk up to you, and I grab you by your shirt collar, and I say, "Give me your wallet." What would you do?
I'd probably ask you what you need. There's no cash in my wallet.
Yeah. But let's say I'm doing it in an aggressive manner, right? I'm perturbed, and I'm saying I want your money. Usually, you're gonna give me fisticuffs, right? You're gonna push back. You're not gonna willingly give me your wallet, right? It's gonna be some tension. There is where I'm getting at, right? There's going to be some hostilities, right? But now, okay, let's put that scenario. Let's put the pin in that. Put it aside. Now I walk up to you and I put a gun to your head. And I say, "Give me everything you have." What's the situation? How does it change? Okay, it's not even a choice. It's not even a hesitation. You want my wallet? Take my wallet.
If my kung fu, if I'm unable to use my training,
let's say you don't know kung fu. You're just a normal, regular guy. I put a gun to your head and I say, "Give me everything you have."
Relax, have it. Please
right?
be on your way.
That's what harden your hearts mean. This is what it's supposed to mean. When Moses went to Pharaoh and he said, "Free the people," just on himself, get lost. Who are you, Moses? What are you talking about? Get out of here. You know what? Not only because you made me, you aggravated me for the day. Now the labor of the Israelites is going to get 2 times worse. You're going to make break without straw. You pissed me off. But then Moses shows up with a big staff and he says, "Free the people. I'm turning the water to blood." Okay, Moses. Okay, free the people. But then the plague goes away, and then okay, the people come back. No, I was just bullshitting. No, you get back here. Why? Because the gun's not put to his head again. When Moses goes without the gun, Pharaoh says, "Get lost." But when Moses goes with the gun, he says, "Okay." So this is what it is. This is what the whole. God finally says, "You know what? Well, I'm going to harden your heart," meaning it's going to be your decision. There's no more. You're going to be. Your emotions are going to get the better of you. There's no more how you feel about what the situation is. What you decide truly is going to be your decision. And at the end of the day, Pharaoh decided that no, I'm going to. If it means I'm dying in the Red Sea, you're not leaving. Because that's how he truly felt. And that's how the Egyptians truly felt. You understand? And you could be you. What I'm saying is there's no more manipulation. There's no more emotions. There's no more thinking about it. There's no more decision time. There's no more all these different things that people do to calculate why they do things. It's gone. Now your heart, it's stamped. It is what it is. Mamish. It is what it is. Mamish, meaning it is exactly the way it is. And Pharaoh, without emotions, without intellect, without anything, his true feeling was, if I die today and I drown in the Red Sea, it don't matter. I'm not letting you go. Gun to my head or no gun to my head. And that's what it means to be hardened. God didn't come in and just make a decision for him like that. That's what atheists like to say, or Christians. Oh, God manipulates people and they're just puppets. No. God hardened his heart was the opposite of being a puppet. Quite honestly, no, this is how Pharaoh really, truly, deep down in his guts, truly felt and believed that he's going to die, whether it went against logic or not. No,
so you're almost saying you're saying like God pulled back.
Right.
A little bit. and let them right. Be.
It was right. Exactly. Well, yeah, but God pulled back, meaning God allowed Pharaoh to, without being manipulated by emotions or logic or reason or things that people would do to calculate why they do things. God allowed him to truly truly feel like what his answer really was. Right? His answer was really truly what his answer wanted to be. Right? Because because the opposite is the true. Because if Moses went to Pharaoh and he put the gun to his head and said, free the people, and he freed the people and the people were free, people can say 1,000 years ago, right? Hey, that wasn't fair. God, you only got free because God did it. Where was Pharaoh's free choice? It's the opposite of what people say. Because if they were freed by the plagues, people would use it as an excuse to say that they weren't really that wasn't a decision that they would made themselves. So it's actually the opposite of what people say, which is the funniest thing. That's how it's truly understand or what it's. Well, I shouldn't say how it's truly meant to understand, but that's like how a proper Talmudic understanding of what the situation is that it was God was allowing him to truly make a decision for himself.
That was the decision all along.
Right.
Well, all right.
Sorry,
I think it's a good time to get over. We're going to switch over to Rumble where we can speak a little more freely.
Shabbat shalom.
We thank you, YouTube. You know what's great about YouTube, John, is we've got almost every one of our hangouts for the past 9 years over there on the Idol Smasher channel. And I would recommend it. We're here at Rumble now, but for a time there at Google Plus, we would have 10 people packed into a room.
Yeah.
And it was something. And you can go back and watch some of that stuff. Sometimes we just get a little rowdy and crazy. Other times it's so serious but boring.
All different stripes and colors and creeds.
It was an amazing time. An amazing time on the internet. We'd like to get it back, but so yeah, YouTube, thank you very much. But y'all are a little oversensitive. And I'll trade your oversensitivity with the vast amount of musical videos that you do provide to us. So I'm not going to say piss off tonight. I'm going to say thank you, YouTube, and we appreciate you. But we're going to move over to Rumble. If you're watching on YouTube, hey, Rumble.